Welcome Sagittarius to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 26th of February for the Sun or the Ascendant. There's a very exuberant set of energies that are coming from the sign of Aquarius, which for you really started to get stoked up from the 20th of January. We've seen the Sun, Pluto, Mercury, and then last week Venus and Mars all having a massive impact on this part of your situation, and there may have been some very lively conversations. Your passion and enthusiasm, one of your greatest qualities, certainly has had an opportunity to be showcased. But there is a counter story or a parallel celestial story in your chart as well, and that surrounds the sign of Pisces, which is much more to do with how you feel about things. If you cast your mind back to last March the 7th, when Saturn moved into your 4th house, something may have changed around where you live, who you live there. You may have done some home improvements, some decoration. You may have moved altogether. There may have been an addition to the family. You may have had to take more care of a relative who's not been so well. So the fourth and emotional part of your situation has been developing. So as much as Jupiter, your ruler, links with Venus at the start of the week in a pretty bright way, but also with Mars, that particular aspect peaks on Tuesday, and it's one that can tempt us into promising more than we can realistically deliver. But what the key to this week is to keep tuning into how things feel for you. Keep trying to refine your physical security, in other words, making where you live as comfortable as possible, because you like space. You know, if you're living somewhere that doesn't have so much space, through some imaginative adaptations and decluttering and perhaps going out into the environment to get some walks, you can deal with that because you're working on what you need emotionally. If there have been strains in your family life, this is a good time to try to understand why that happened, but perhaps also look to make some improvements. If that's not possible, what are the lessons that have been learned? And this can help you to set your boundaries, because there's two Cazimis that occur on Wednesday. It's rare really to have two in the same day, particularly when Saturn's in the mix, and Mercury comes first, where the Sun applies to it, followed by Saturn. Mercury's not at ease in Pisces, and Saturn's not at its best there either. So if you're resisting the emotional calling that's going on at the moment, asking you to really be more at ease with how things feel, perhaps even some of your insecurities and vulnerabilities, the more you can turn this week to your advantage. As the week draws to a close, there is a quarter moon in your sign. Could make you a bit more impulsive towards the end of the week and make it a little bit harder to stay in touch with what you need in that emotional context. But do try to make that the root of this week's situation. It's been a pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Also, if you'd like to ascend above this zodiac forecast and embrace the power of more serious astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of your birth data of time, date and place, or date and place, I can produce for you your life roadmap report. This will give you searing insights into the patterns that are played out in your life so far. You can get a much more intimate understanding of how these have affected your situation, but how you can work with them more effectively going forwards. In my special package of 30% off, you also get your 12 months transit. That's the moving planets in the sky interacting with your totally unique personal blueprint. Please see the link below for more.